Games are so hard to win. Anytime you win a Big 12 game, you try to celebrate it. We got 12-hour rule around here, so just happy for the guys. Not one of our best first halves, but give Iowa State a lot of credit. I want to wish Iowa State the best of luck here these next few weeks until we play them again. Program we have a lot of respect for. Look, we were fortunate. Shooting's a big part of basketball. They got a lot of great three-point shots tonight, and we were very fortunate that they missed a lot of open shots. But give our guys credit. We contested some of them and did enough other things to find a way to win the game. But a lot of respect for Iowa State. Thankful for our crowd. It's great to get our students back. Guys were talking about it, yesterday and today, kind of a buzz around our locker room. So we're so appreciative of having one of the best student sections in all of college basketball. And I always want to recognize the students and tell them how much we appreciate them and their support of our program. And also, want to recognize everybody that helped us have some great crowds during the semester break, season ticket holders, and a lot of people spending their time and money to come to games. We don't ever take it for granted around here. Just a few years ago, it was pretty easy to get a ticket around here. So we always try to remember that humility and remember how lucky we are that we have some of the best fans in college basketball.
Coach, I guess when Jacobson got it to within one possession, 29-27, you guys went on that big run. Did you kind of see the defense kind of step up, or I guess what did you see that kind of allowed y'all to get on that big run?
First half or second half? And one thing I want to say is the crowd really got into it. Big possessions. They stayed with it. We got multiple stops, and basket gets pretty big. When you're playing college basketball and you got 15,000 people standing up cheering for you. So crowd's a big part of college basketball. To say it's not isn't factual. And so that's the first thing. I think our crowd really helped us in some key stretches of the game, so very appreciative. With our guys, I would agree with what Morrow and Kyler said. When we don't hand the ball to the other team and we get a shot up on our basket, we're pretty good.
From a defensive perspective, I know it might have been lost, but TJ obviously got a steal, was able to get more of that easy layup. Do you kind of feel like that was also something that kind of sparked you guys, just that defense turning to quick offense to where you're not having to obviously kind of get their defense set?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that completely. To win a Big 12 game, you got to score enough points to win. So whether that be 70 in our league, it's a March Madness kind of league. This year a little bit lower, but opens up. Some nights you got to get to 80. And, you sit around as a coach, how are we going to score these points? And it's never been the plan to score every point on your offense. You have to create offense off your defense and off your special teams, which in basketball is out-of-bounds plays and free throw situations and things like that. So, yeah, I'd agree with you. When we score off our defense, it just takes pressure off our offense, and it makes us a better team.
I know earlier in the year you mentioned Kyler taking it to that next level would be showing that consistency during Big 12. He's shown that by scoring in double figures the last two games. What have you seen from him that's allowed him to kind of, I guess, blossom, so to speak, from the offensive end?
Yeah, I would agree with Kyler. It's just process. It's what he does. There hasn't been some kind of magical moment. It hasn't like he's come out to practice and had a certain kind of headband on or a new pair of shoes. Like he just he works. And, it's 2 back-to-back games. Let's try to get to 3, 4, 5, 6, and – when he finds that next plateau of his game where it's 6 out of 7, 7 out of 8 doing these things, then, he won't be here much longer. And that wouldn't be a bad thing because that means he's reached his goal to become a pro. And, he's that good. He's just got to keep working and find that consistency. So I'm really proud of Kyler.
Coach, how nice is it to have Terrence Shannon back and what he bring to you guys tonight?
Yeah, definitely nice to have your full roster. We still got some guys kind of banged up, but we're getting back. We're blessed to be this time of year, 5 games into the 18-round fight. We about as healthy as you can be. Nobody's playing at 100% perfect health right now. Especially in this league, there's guys bumped and bruised and dealing with stuff. But to have TJ Shannon, one of our best players, back, certainly helps our team. And he's got to get his legs under him. Thought his issues tonight were more on conditioning than basketball. And it's a team effort. That's not just him. We all got to help him, get back to the best shape he can be quickly. How was Vanilla Ice at halftime?
I was going to ask your thoughts on Vanilla Ice. I mean,
I was in the locker room
fan.
at halftime, so I didn't see.
You like him though? You got like all this stuff or anything?
Yeah, I like Vanilla Ice.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anybody grew up in my day or whatever and says you don't like Vanilla Ice, non-truth teller. It didn't matter where you were, East Coast, West Coast, black, white, brown, yellow, red, pink, or orange, inner city, country. You know, the guy was great, man.
Could you talk about Holyfield's defensive effort tonight?
I thought he battled. Made a couple, we call these plays MIGs in our program, most important guy. And, just where you got to go make a play, right? Block a shot and get a rebound you're not supposed to get or get a steal. And, from where I was sitting and standing sometimes, he made some big plays. In the second half, he got the rip behind steal. And I thought he battled. We got to get Holy to play better in terms of consistency. There's some things that we got to have out of him to be the best team we can be. But effort is right where it needs to be. He's playing extremely hard. I think the game's going to open up for him sooner than later.
Last 2 games, high turnover first halves, second half, you cut down on that. Any theories on that?
No, but we're working at it. If anybody has a suggestion, let me know. 1701 Indiana, the basketball office is right upstairs. We're in there a lot this time of year. So it's frustrating because we've got good players and they're unselfish, but we just got to figure out how to, take care of the ball and value the ball more. But we're working at it. Yeah, I promise you we're working at it.
Who would you say is the best penetrating guard on the roster?
We got several, different positions. Certainly Chris Clark can get places with the basketball and our guards, Kyler, Morrow, and Clarence, and Mac's a big guard. Holy can penetrate at his position. So then Morrow is just gutsy, he can get places that most people don't think he can get. But we got a lot of guys that can penetrate.
Morrow and Kyler are combined 8 for 12 from beyond the arc. How much does that open up the offense for the rest of the guys?
It does. When you make shots, it's harder to guard. And kind of like basketball changed with the three-point line, right? So used to you could do some things and get some stops. Defense is a lot easier when you don't have to guard way out. So, when we hit shots, it opens up things for people. It helps you on some pick-and-roll stuff too because they can't leave. Anyways, don't leave Edwards. He's made a couple shots in a row, and it gives you a chance to maybe get a pick-and-roll with somebody else, that kind of thing. So, like I said, we were fortunate tonight. Iowa State has really good shooters. This is basketball. We were very fortunate they missed a lot of shots. But give our guys credit. We made some shots on the other end tonight.
And since that Morgantown game, obviously, these last 2 wins this week, did you notice a difference in practice this week from your team with how they were able to respond? Or
No, stay the course. Don't get too high, too low. Starts with our leadership. And it's same Texas Tech. We're going to practice hard every day we can. We're going to go play. And sometimes you're fortunate enough to win. Sometimes you run out of time. But really our process is what kind of keeps us going. But no major changes this week. Just very fortunate and lucky to win a couple Big 12 games.
And finally, with T.J. Shannon coming off the bench instead of starting, was that a matchup thing? Was that a limited minutes thing?
We change our lineup a lot around here from time to time. But T.J. had started some games early, and Chris has been great for us in that 6-man role. But coming back for T.J.'s first game, it was just a coaching decision. But we'll always look at that lineup and see what we can do to make our team the best it can be.
A little bit of a silver lining with TJ out that Kevin got so many more minutes, and although he didn't fill up the stat sheet like he did the last 2, he had a big rebound, had a steal during that stretch. How much has these extra minutes helped him, specifically maybe you, having another guy in the rotation?
Yeah, Mac was on the floor tonight in a lot of big moments in the second half, and we extended the lead. He's one of our best defensive players. He's a skilled offensive player. Again, not a new story this week. Same thing, no offseason, trying to get back into playing, but definitely one of our best players, and look for him to just get better as the year goes on and recognize some really good minutes he played in the second half for us, no doubt about that.
It happened a couple days ago. But
you ever seen that movie Silver Linings?
Silver Linings Playbook?
Huh?
Silver Linings Playbook?
Is there a movie, Avery? Who's in it?
Nope.
Bradley Cooper?
That one, yeah. Silver Linings Playbook.
In your last question, you said Silver Lining.
Yeah. It happened a couple days ago, but what's it mean to have Mark Adams go into the JUCO Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it the other day. The guy's one of the best coaches, if not the best. He is the best coach I've ever known. I've known some other really good ones. I've never known a coach better than Mark Adams. He's won at every level. He's obviously a master of his craft, but he also has an ability to relate it to people every level, right? And he's been, an interesting thing about him is he's basically been in the Hall of Fame at every school he's ever coached at, and now in junior college. So, I don't know who makes those decisions here at Texas Tech, but he should be on the ballot here. What he's done here with our defense, and speaks for itself. And we're fortunate to have him here. The most fortunate people that have him though are our players. I mean, you get to play for one of the best coaches that's ever done this, and that's a privilege. I try to get our guys to remind them from time to time. Be really careful though. You put this out because the guy does have an ego, and we got a lot of season left. He hears me say these nice things about him. He's going to want another parking pass. He's going to want the doors to open 3 hours before the game. There's a lot of things he's going to want. But with all seriousness, I've said it before, he's the best.
I don't know if we're going to get to talk to you again, but can you look ahead to TCU? I know you've got 12-hour rule, but I'm sure Coach Adams is probably already looking at film with them anyway.
Yeah, solid respect for everybody in the Big 12. Said it before. To me, we don't even look at the standings or this or that until you make the turn. Somebody told me in the locker room coming out here, I guess K-State beat West Virginia today. Is that right? That might be surprising for some of y'all, but not us. We understand how good the league is and the coaching and the players. Again, to me, you got to get 9 or 10 games into this until you start seeing. With that being said, I think TCU is really good. I've had a chance to watch them, common opponent, and then just as a basketball fan, caught a lot of their games early. A couple guys on that coaching staff I really like. Ryan's a friend, and so we always pull for those guys, except for when we have to play them. That's competition, but it's our next chance to try to win a Big 12 game. Road games are so hard to win. Got a lot of great Texas Tech fans down there in Dallas-Fort Worth area, so it's always a game that we enjoy going to the Metroplex. But nothing but respect for TCU, and we know it's going to be a 40-minute game. We'll have to play our best game of the year to have a chance to compete in that game. Thank you.